linje. Het is één.
Calimera, good morning everyone. Welcome
Calimera,
to
good morning everyone.
Welcome to
the Acropolis Rally.
I'm Bex Williams, ready to talk you through the first one.
I'm
Bex Williams, ready to talk you through the first one of Shakedown.
Alongside me in commentary for the whole weekend, I'm pleased to announce
Norwegian champion, man who's been fourth
Norwegian champion,
in
man who's been
WRC2 in
fourth
Acropolis Rally,
in
WRC2 in Acropolis Rally,
WRC starts. 53 WRC starts.
Welcome, Ivan.
Definitely.
We've got our championship leaders on the line.
We've got our championship leaders on the line.
Thierry Neuville and Martin Vidaga
Shakedown, and
as they do that, in Shakedown, and as they do that, Thierry will remain with them in 2025. His contract extended to the end of 2025. So that's good news this morning, I have to say. So that's good news. We've got an amazing championship battle. We've got an amazing championship battle now. Kicking to watch on the final. Thierry Neuville obviously leading the championship. Thierry Neuville obviously leading the championship. But a tough event, he's in a good position right now. But a tough event to be first on the road on here, yes?
That title, and Toyota is putting the pressure now at building the squad around Ogier, trying to beat him, so
So as you were saying, yeah, the fact that he is leading heading into these final 4 rounds, cards are in his hand at the moment, Ivan.
yeah, for sure. He will try now to protect it and try to be clever in Greece, because Greece is such a difficult rally. We know that most of the retirements on this rally is due to technical problems and not any crashes. So it's all about trying to be clever, steady, don't do any mistake to break the car and like grab all the points he can to protect his lead.
Now this is the same shakedown we've used on the past few occasions. One feedback we were getting from drivers already this week, due to the dry weather that they've had here in Greece over the past few months, dry, hot, baking weather. And of course we had a lot of rain in this region last year, if you remember. This event was full of mud last year in sectors, heavy rains. This event, this time around, is very rough. The roughest the drivers have seen for many years. You know, Sebastian Ogier said he's been doing this event since 2008. He's not seen it this rough before.
Oh, there's a few events where the weather really plays a big role. We can talk about Sardinia and Greece, and a few other events when it's really dry, or the opposite way, when it's a lot of rain just before the rally, when all these big rocks and it's really getting rough. So, as you said, we remember last year with the rain, and the shakedown was constant actually. So it's a rough year this year.
There's so many factors needed here, Ivan, isn't there? Because due to the roughness, and a bit of a change on some of certainly the way the stages are run across the days, it's going to be a little bit slower maybe than it was last year. You need a lot of mechanical sympathy. When the roughness increases, you need to be a little bit kinder to the car out there.
Yeah, and be ready to avoid stones and try to don't get any punctures.
It's a 2:49.2 for Thierry Neuville. Championship battle-wise, I think it is going to be an absolutely thrilling end to the season. We've got some classic events to round off the year, kicking off, of course, with the legendary Acropolis, where we are now. Heading back to Chile, then the Central European Rally, of course, which was first debuted on the championship last year, and then the tough, technical, demanding tarmac stages of Rally Japan to end it all.
Thierry, good morning. I believe, first of all, congratulations are in order. We've just had the news through that you've extended your contract with Hyundai.
Yeah, that's a good news. It's nice to wake up with such a news, obviously. I knew it now for a little bit, but yeah, very happy to carry on for one more year with Hyundai Motorsport. It's been 11 years, so to add the 12th year is yeah, great for me, but as well I think great for the WRC to see that Hyundai is still committed next year to the WRC, so that's the positives, and I'm already looking forward to it.
And a few thoughts on the weekend ahead.
Wow, it's going to be tough out there. It's probably the roughest Greece we have ever seen, and I think the risk of punctures is super high, so let's see what we're going to make out of the weekend, but the approach has to be a decent one, trying to manage our speed, protect the car, and cross fingers for the punctures.
Wow. Okay, it's quite a statement, isn't it? For the weekend ahead. Sebastian Ogier now then, he's approaching, as you can see, the yellow boards. Setting a time 0.3 of a second faster than Thierry Neuville out there. 2:48.9 for the man who's second in the championship now, chasing down his 9th world title this year.
There was quite a lot of dust I could see from Seb's on board, so I think maybe he didn't really see clear all these tops with the morning. The sun is really low as well.
Yeah, it is hanging, isn't it, in pockets. Let's go back to Molly Pettit then. Here from
So,
Seb.
good morning. We've just heard from Thierry that this is maybe the roughest Greece he has ever seen. Do you agree with those words?
Yeah, it's true. It's been a bit shocking in places to see the conditions. So yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend for sure. Already a tough check down for me now. A lot of dust, so a lot of hanging dust this morning. Difficult to see where we go.
Thank you, Seb.
Yeah, and you can see it here again with Tanak's on board as well. There's not a huge amount of breeze out there. It's set to be a bakingly hot weekend, which is what we expect in the Acropolis. Obviously, the past couple of years, though, have been blighted by that rain that has come in. And, well, thankfully for the drivers, cooled things down, but it made the stages incredibly tricky. And this year now, they are incredibly rough, which is what we expect from the Acropolis Rally. That's what it's all about here.
It's always rough, and we know that Sundays is always rough as well, and Power Stage is maybe one of the worst stages. So we can see from Shakedown stage, this is quite smooth, to be honest. It's a quite high-speed floating stage. It's just all about getting the feeling again after the summer break. Like 1 month in Finland, so it's important to get a good feeling and try to enjoy Acropolis.
Tanak, who's third in the championship, but told me yesterday when there's hope there, the fight is still alive. He has had quite a difficult season because we've seen great pace from him, but we've also seen these weird incidences, and of course we didn't see much of him at Rally Finland. But he's got good plans for the final sector of the season. He's very much in there with the title fight. Let's hear from him.
First of all, quickest through Shakedown so far. I just want to ask, how are the two of you doing? How are the two of you doing?
Two of us, we are here, we are fit and yeah, looking forward.
And it's a great start to the day. What are your thoughts and expectations about the weekend?
Yeah, already the Shakedown extremely tricky with the dust, so if it's so bad in the open, what it can be tomorrow in the forest, so yeah. Adding this to the roughness of Greece, I think we are looking into quite a demanding rally.
Demanding, tough, everything we expect from Acropolis Rally, and more Elvin Evans now then, who's fourth in the championship title hunt.
It's very difficult with the dust because you can't really trust the distance into the corner. I think he's losing quite a bit now. It's he doesn't look so commitment and confident.
Flat right long, 3 left, very long entry of a crest, tight 8 right, don't tightens, 3 left don't.
It's good to see a big smile from
5 left long, trim,
Oyden after a few rallies with some uphill walking all the time. You know, it's a big crash on the test, this small test rally in Latvia as well.
3.9 seconds off the pace of Tanak out in front. Then this is just run 1 of Shakedown, of course, here at the Acropolis Rally. We'll be taking in 15 stages this weekend. Some Toyota fans at the end here. And let's hear what Elvin has to say.
Elvin, good morning. That's slowest time on the board so far. What were those conditions like?
Quite a lot of dust to slow down in a few places, so not ideal.
What does this year's itinerary look like?
It's going to be a tough weekend, very rough out there, so yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be easy.
Confident you could get a win here?
I'm not sure anybody can be confident in these conditions, but of course we want to try our best.
We look at Adrian Fourmeau, who mathematically also has a chance of the title still as well, and you know, he's in confident spirits. I mean, it's been a fantastic season for Adrian Fourmeau. The targets he said to me this week, you know, he's not really thinking about the title. Yes, the possibility is there that it would be an extraordinary tale if that was to come off, but he wants to get on the top step of the podium. That's a target for him before the end of the year. And I asked him, you know, where is that possible? And he said, well, let's start with here, shall we, with my road position and the difficulty level of this event. Because of what every driver is saying, you've just heard every single driver so far say how rough it is, how demanding it's going to be.
Yeah, and this rally is also a bit to be clever. You don't have to be the fastest during the weekend. I think you can win the rally by not winning any single stage, to be honest, because you just have to be you have to consistent all over the weekend and no mistakes and avoid punctures, and you can do really well in Greece.
Super easy to say from our position here in commentary, isn't it, huh? Switch out to Taka and Aaron now, then we'll wait to hear from Adrian.
Adrian, good morning. Already 4 podiums this year, second quickest now on Shakedown. What are you thinking about this weekend? Could you perhaps put it on the top step of the podium?
Well, the plan is always to be on the podium, but I'm still searching the victory lap. So, but we'll see if it's on this rally or later. But anyway, we'll do our best. It's a tricky rally. Sometimes you have to be smart in some places and push where you can. You feel. So it's going to be challenging, especially with a lot of dust also this morning. So yeah, need to be careful.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
You've competed here. 2002 was the last time. Very similar stages to what we're seeing again this year. What can we expect out there, Ivan?
We can expect sometimes some super fast stage times, because it's possible to go, like Adrian said now, some places you can push really, really hard and you can take big risks and putting on some really great stage times. So I think it's all about, you see, Adrian, he was really keen to search for this win. So it's one or the other way, I think. Either he will be on the top step or it might be some drama for him, because when you're really keen in Greece, it's really difficult to pick up some punctures and yeah.
I think what we've seen for him from this year is definitely a different kind of drive than obviously when he was in the rally one before. That season now has definitely helped. Taka as well has got, I think, a different frame of mind coming in here. He said after Finland he'd been chatting with Sebastian Ogier, who'd been giving him a little bit of advice. Kalle Rovanperä, obviously a good friend as well. Taka's pace has been strong again this season. It's a good run at Shakedown here. He just has to pull it all together.
Yeah, and what I really like now is quite a lot of the younger drivers, their approach is not to learn anymore, it's about winning rallies. And I'm quite fed up listening to other drivers learning all the time. I really wanted to push and win, and now they are really keen to win.
Taka, good morning. That's second quickest on Shakedown so far. What are your hopes for the weekend?
My hope to survive. I think this is most important for this rally. So yeah, obviously car felt so much better than 2 years ago. Last 2 years ago we drove this stage, but car developed a lot. So yeah, I hope this feeling continues to next 3 days, and yeah, let's see how it's going.
In what ways do you feel the improvement in the car?
Everything. Maybe I improved a bit myself also, but the car has done a big step thanks to engineers. But I must say, after this rally, to finish the stage, and I need to say this, so I need to survive.
Well, that's good to hear. It's positive news to hear from Taka, isn't it? Danny Sorda now, who we welcome back to the championship. We last saw him at Rally Sardinia, where he was third overall, and he's had great success here in Acropolis. Acropolis in the past few years. He's been third in 2023 and 2022 as well.
And he looked committed as well. He's pushing quite hard, and I described him like many times like a clock. You know, you can always trust Danny when he's doing some rallies. He's steady all the time, fast. Most of the rallies he doesn't do any big mistakes. And from what I can see now, he's really confident.
It's always good to welcome him back to the championship. 7/10 of a second down. From Tanak's fastest time on run one of Shakedown, it's a 2:46 from Tanak. For Danny Sordo, 2:46.7. So we've got 7 drivers through so far as we go back to M Sport Ford now, pick up with Gregoire Munster.
Danny, good morning. It's great to see you. That's third quickest on Shakedown. How does it feel to be back?
Yeah, it's slow really a lot in one of the corners. I almost stopped on the dash, but for the rest was good. I'm really happy with the car. It was really, really good. I feel very good. With Candido also is making a nice job at the moment, so everything in the way.
That's good to hear. They're always coming up to 4 years since Gregoire Munster got into a Rally 1 car. That was in Chile last year. Look how much he's learned across the season. You talked about learning. This really has been, the learning year for him because it's been the first full season.
Yeah, and Gregoire is right to learn because he's young and doesn't have any or as much experience as the other drivers, so he can learn. But some of the others I really want a win from.
You want to see them pushing a bit harder, yeah?
But on some of these rallies like Acropolis, you need to get experience because the drivers know the road so well, they know all the places where to push, where to be more careful. So it's all about to learn this rally. It's a tricky one.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him go back to places like Chile, Central European. So it's the second time for him in a Rally 1 car, and I'm sure he's looking forward to the same because every event has been a new experience behind the wheel of a Rally 1 car. And finally, when we get to Chile, it's a repeat event for him.
Yeah, and just about the pace notes, you need to check the pace notes in the proper speed in a Rally 1 car, so it's really important to be there a few times.
Jordan Serdaridis now, of course, big supporter of Gregoire Munster.
Greg, good morning. It's another start for you for the first time in this car. How have you been preparing yourself for this event?
Yeah, prepared a lot, watching a lot of onboards, getting a bit fit, not going abroad in the 1 month of pause between the two events, and just wanting to play it smart because it's one thing to be fast, but I think with this edition of the Acropolis there might happen some things.
Yeah, we've heard it, haven't we, already from the drivers talking about, how rough it is, how demanding it is going to be out there. It's going to be the intelligent driver this weekend, Ivan, that gets onto that top step of the podium. Maybe not necessarily the fastest man.
No, and it's easier, to be honest, to be on the top step on the podium on a rally like this compared with a really, really fast rally because the time flies away like in Finland. You're off the throttle a few times and you lose 10 seconds. In a rally like Acropolis, it's all about being smart, don't pick up any punctures, and try to be consistent over the weekend. So it's a good opportunity for Gregoire as well to try to do maybe the best the rally of his calendar this year.
I think it's a really open playing field in terms of who is going to do what out there. Make sure you join us for all of the 15 stages that we'll be broadcasting this weekend, of course, across all live. As Jordan completes. 3 minutes, 0.1. 3 minutes, 1 second rather. for Jordan Serdarides. The fastest time still Tanak with a 2:46.
Kalimera, Jordan, it's great to see you back. What can you tell us about the addition this year of Acropolis Rally?
It will be rough, man. It will be very rough. This so much dust, you don't see anything. But okay, I think it will be good to drive a Puma here instead of a Rally 2. Yeah.
What is it like to be in the Rally 1 car as well as Gregoire?
I don't know.
Thanks, Jordan.
Gregoire said to us that he stayed out to when he was testing to watch Jordan do his thing as well. Talk to me about the dust, because obviously we've raised some issues, we've seen some issues here with the dust. What's it like driving in dust, Ivan? How can you try and combat it and not lose too much pace?
First of all, hitting that dust, hanging dust, is like turning off the light in the room. It's getting completely dark, so you really need to trust your pace notes and remember that on the recce as well, to try to do precise pace notes, because this can happen in Acropolis. So all about getting the pace notes right. The co-driver really need to be on the toes and try to be careful, stay in the middle of the road, because all of a sudden you're a bit too much on the side and you can hit something.
Sami Pajari, WRC2 is where we're at now. Then, of course, the last time we saw Sami was in the Rally 1 car in his home event in Finland. But back to Rally 2 duties in WRC2. He's in second overall in the championship. He's had 2 wins this season in Italy and in Poland.
Sami, good morning. It's back to the Rally 2 car. What's that like?
It's still fun. At least on these stages we're so sleepy that we can go a lot sideways, so it didn't feel so bad. But yeah, obviously this is quite a rough rally and it's all about being clever, and of course we try to take as many points as we can, but it's a tricky rally. But yeah, I feel confident with how the car feels, and I hope the pace is fine.
I think it's going to be an interesting battle out there this weekend. You know, we've seen Johan Rosell have really strong pace on the Acropolis rally in the past, and due to the conditions we're hearing from everyone this weekend, it's certainly going to be a tough challenge for the drivers. Johan Rosell in 3rd position in the title hunt. It is Oliver Solberg who's out front, but Oliver choosing not to compete here at the Acropolis rally.
Yeah, and Johan is getting a lot of experience now. The last few years we've done quite a lot of rallies and building up his experience, the bank of experience in rallying, and I think Johan is one of the guys to maybe put some money on this rally. He's steady now and you know where to push and where to be clever.
1 win under his belt this season. That was at the first event at Rally Monte Carlo. Can he follow it up with another here at Acropolis? You're just joining us for Run 1 on Shakedown. Ivan Brynildsen is alongside me in commentary and will be throughout the whole weekend. And he's happy to answer any questions you may have, no matter how deep and probing. We'll hear from Johan in a moment. Let's switch out then to Lauri Orner.
Johan, good morning. It's been a good rally for you in the past, so what are you thinking about the weekend?
Just to be intelligent, for sure. I think it's not the most faster win who can win the rally, but for sure the plan is just to keep calm. The day is so long, but it's nice feeling into the car, and the plan is to enjoy into the car, and when you enjoy, you are faster.
Français, s'il vous plaît.
I think, the words you're saying there, you're shaking your head, aren't you? Yes, you're agreeing with all of that.
Yeah, it's all about trying to enjoy, and even when it's rough, never give up and try just to push all the time and enjoy every single meter.
Larry Orner with a new co-driver alongside him. Normally it's Jani Hussi, but she had her final event with Larry in Finland. It is now Ville Madison-Mäki who sits alongside.
Normally the regular co-driver of Teemu Asunma.
I'm so glad you struggle with that surname as well, because that catches me out every time. Okay, let's give you some times then for our WRC2 drivers who've made their way through that time. For Jonna is 2:51. Rossell was a 2:47. That was a fantastic time through from Johan Rossell. And Sami Pajari. Yes, I think
Larry, good morning.
Just double check those
Off
times.
the back of a fantastic podium at your home rally, but how are you feeling about the rough stuff here in Greece?
Yeah, at least it's quite rough already in Shakedown and quite dusty. So yeah, it can be anything. So we have to be aware, all kind of things. But at least we try to drive a clean and stable rally and try to keep good pace. But yeah, everything can happen in this rally.
And a different co-driver as well. How's things going between the two of you?
Yeah, in Shakedown everything was very good, and yeah, on the test we have so much fun. So I think we have good cooperation for this rally.
Yeah, that's good to learn, because it does take a little while, doesn't it, to, you know, learn each other, because you've got to trust in each other in that driver-co-driver partnership.
Yeah, it's a very important relationship. It's almost like a marriage. You need to know each other, and some of the drivers and co-drivers, they spend more time together during a year than actually with your maybe boy or girlfriend.
This is true.
Yeah, because you have so many rallies, so many weeks on a travel, so it's important to have a really good relation and trust each other all the time.
Now that was Gail Dinneman we saw waiting to go on the line. Nikolai Gryzin just passing our cameras here.
Talking about dust.
Yeah, that's what it's like when you're facing a wall of dust. We've got no onboards in those cars, which is why we're not seeing much of Nikolai or Jan Solens, who's also within the shakedown stage this morning. And I think it's going to be really interesting to find out exactly, in terms of WRC2, who is going to really get to grips with the conditions. We heard from Johan Rossell earlier saying, you know, it's not going to be necessarily the fastest man who's on the top step of the podium. Let's find out what Gryzin has to say.
Nikolai, good morning. It's time to score some points here in Greece. It's been a good rally for you in the past, so what are you expecting from this weekend?
Anyway, even when I score the points, for me, mainly I need to work with my driving, with the strategy, because this race is definitely more about the strategy and driving safe, not just pushing like hell through the stones and etc. So even now we were not driving fast at all on the shakedown, just because we are check the setup wise, so we like fully racing configuration with the two spares, so quite heavy for this road, but just for us to understand the feeling of the car for the race. So normally I think it's fine. We don't want to drive too much on the shakedown because we need these tires also for the race, so I don't think we will continue shakedown. Feels okay, just need to one more check on the pace notes for tomorrow and just drive smart.
Drive smart. He's had consistent performances and been on the podium in 2021 and 2022 in WRC2. So he knows what to do here. As he said, drive smart is the key, but it's so easy to say it from the beautiful, comfortable commentary box.
Yeah, it is. But sometimes I wondered if Nikolai is not smart, because he's sometimes so fast. And
it seems to work for him, though.
Yeah, you think maybe cutting some corners, but he also getting a lot of experience in the last few years, and yeah, he knows how to do it in Greece.
Yeah, he really does. He's quite an exciting driver to watch, isn't he? Because of that speed, as you say, so fast in sectors. Georg Linnemer now then. I think a big thing for Georg this year was taking a win at his home event in Rally Estonia in the ERC. Final stage thriller. And for this man in front of us here at the stop control, Jan Solans. Some tyre damage here for Solans. It's a slice out of the sidewall.
It's one of the most common tire damage sidewall. You're sliding through and hitting some
Jan, good morning.
rocks.
There's some tyre damage on the rear right. Did you hit something in there?
I don't know, to be honest, but there was some loose rocks, so maybe it's because of that.
First time doing Acropolis rally. What are your impressions so far?
Well, it will be rough. We have seen it on Shakedown, so I don't know. The thing is to stay out of trouble, but it's easy to say, and then you need to do it. So let's try to do our best, and we will see.
Spanish, please.
I think when you're coming here for the first time, it's always quite an intimidating event, isn't it? To see how difficult it is. The days are long. One thing we haven't talked about as well, Ivan, is the heat in the car. I mean, it's 33, 34 degrees air temperature. That's a lot hotter inside the cars for you guys.
Yeah, and I think you will find up to 55 degrees inside the car, 60 maybe. So it's really, really demanding inside the car as well. It's tough for the car, but it's tough for the crew inside as well.
So that's Georg Linnemer through. So let's just confirm some times within WRC2. Georg Linnemer's time 250.9, Jona was 251, Sami Pyri 252. But Johan Rossell with a 247, that was fourth quickest out of everyone.
Yeah, we see some cleaning as well. There's more clean lines with the less aero on the Rally 2 cars. It's kicking
What
up.
are your thoughts on this one with this car?
I mean, if we get past the first proper corner, it's a big improvement. So, yeah, no, actually, being quite good in the car. We tested the strength of this car in Finland quite well, so in this rough event, it should be okay.
I was just about to say that it's less dust now because the aero on the Rally 1 cars is kicking up more dust than the Rally 2 cars, so they struggle less with the dust. And then you can see from Johan's time it's combined with the cleaning and less dust and a good drive as well.
And a great drive. All of that combined together. Got Josh McAleer now. James Fulton, you can hear calling the notes. Again, Josh is another driver where we've seen a really good pace this year. Sometimes it hasn't all come together for him, though.
It's all about putting this puzzle together, so it takes some time to...
There's been solid results, but you always get the feeling he wants more. He'll be running up there in podium positions and something will happen. So hopefully a clean weekend here for Josh. Discovering what the Acropolis Rally is all about for Josh McAleer this weekend. And this will be the final driver we hear from now.
Josh, good morning. First time at the Acropolis Rally. What do you think of it so far?
Yeah, it's going to be a baptism of fire. Honestly, it's going to be survival and be patient. I think everyone knows this by now, but yeah, it's rallying and you have to enjoy a challenge too.
What sort of preparation have you been doing to this event?
We did the Reggie last year, so we've some experience of some of the stages, but honestly, you have to nearly go in with an open mind, especially here because the conditions change from year in and year out. And yeah, watching WRC live this past month since Finland has been one of the main topics.
Well, there you go, all the preparation needed. But as he says, it changes from year to year. So even though he did the recce last year, it is different conditions that he's experiencing this time around when he's done the recce. So that's our run of Shakedown, run 1 complete for us at least. Stage classification for you, Tanak taking the fastest time through so far with the 2:46. Katsuta not far off that pace, and the returning Danny Sordo only 7/10 behind. Johan Rossell in WRC2 just a second behind that. Then it was for Mo. Some great times on the board from Shakedown this morning. And remember, it all happens out on the stages this weekend. Let's head in then to the service park here in Lamia and catch up with Kiri.
Glorious sunshine surrounding the service park. It is absolutely beautiful here. Now, the reason we're actually at the top of the service park is because the juniors are back for their final round, and this is their class photo. So welcome along to Greece. What a weekend we have in store. As you just saw, it is going to be rough and ready and particularly difficult throughout the next few days. So make sure you stick with us for all of the coverage that we have to offer. We're going to be covering every single stage and a whole lot more. Should we give you an idea of what's coming up in terms of our stages throughout the weekend? It's a very busy weekend. We've only got the opening ceremony this afternoon, and then Friday is action-packed. It's repeat loops on Friday, so it starts at 7:45 and finishes at 8 p.m. It's stages 1 to 6. Saturday a bit different. Only one of the stages is repeated, 8 till 10:45. A super special finishing us off, which is stage 12, and on Sunday it's 3 stages, including that illustrious Wolf Power stage. So that's how the weekend is shaping up in terms of hours. You can see that it is going to be a long one. Okay, well, let's just remind you of the championship standings as well. Well, I'll just tell you actually that Thierry is 27 points clear of Sébastien Ogier. The battle is on. The game is on. If you heard Sébastien Ogier saying, he said, well, let's just race. So let's just give you a quick reminder. Thierry Neuville, 168 points. Sébastien Ogier, 141 points. Oid Tanak with 137. Elvin Evans now down in 4, so it's the top 3 that you're looking at, but mainly the top 2, 27 points separating them here this weekend. It'll be interesting to see what Sébastien Ogier can do. Okay, make sure you join us throughout the weekend for all of the coverage. We'll be back a little bit later on with the opening ceremony, but from the service park for now, it is goodbye.